Thank you, Nolan. Hello, everybody. My name is HQ. Once again, this week is a great moment for us to celebrate the first year birthday of Filecoin. And I'm really, truly pleased to bring together the panel today to talk about, Filecoin's value to Web3 and have a discussion with some of our closest collaborators on what is required for Web3 to take off. So first off, I'd like to invite each of you to give a quick introduction to yourself and your project. Let's keep it at 1 minute each. We start with Alex.
Hello, everybody. My name is Alex. I'm the CEO of Aurora, the project that is doing the scalability of Ethereum blockchain. We're building a thing, the EVM runtime as a smart contract on top of Near blockchain. So we're using all of the features of the Near blockchain, which is scalability, fast execution of everything that is happening there, and pretty low transaction times. So happy to join this panel and discuss the future of Web3.
Cool. Brady next.
Hey everybody, happy to be here. My name is Brady Gentile. I'm on the product marketing team at Hedera. Hedera Hashgraph is a fast, low-cost, energy-efficient, public distributed ledger. We're partnered with Filecoin to collaborate in an interoperable way, specifically for NFTs, and excited to share a little bit about our partnership.
Cool. Maybe Ishan and then Roger, please.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me. So this is Ishan. I'm from Polygon, and of course, we are an Ethereum scaling solution and sort of an aggregator of L2 solutions. So far, we have a plasma-based solution, but also rolling out our roll-up solutions soon. So I'm basically the NFT lead at NFT and gaming lead at Polygon, and also part of the senior management team at Polygon Studios. So thanks for having me, and would love to partake in this discourse about Web3.
Roger?
Yeah, my name's Roger Brogan. I'm a solutions architect here at Chainlink Labs. That's the team behind building the largest decentralized Oracle network. Prior to that, I spent about 20 years in computer science, doing everything from application development and architectures, cloud architectures, some big data, and some AI sprinkled in there. So really excited to be talking about Web3 technologies here today.
Cool. Awesome. Let's dive right in. So maybe I'll start with the L2s. Alex and Ishan, what would you say is the value of decentralized storage, like a project like Filecoin, to your ecosystem and the Web3 stack at large? Please share with us why you think that it's important. Maybe Alex first and then Ishan.
Sure. I'd like to start. So one of the things that, from my point of view, is super, super important and pretty interesting at the moment, according to the market development, is actually the connection of the decentralized storage to the NFTs. So I'm not sure whether you know it or not, but in case today the OpenSea servers are going to switch off, you will never ever see your pictures of your NFTs that you have traded there. And this is a problem, right? So you will have this NFT, but in fact, what is stored on the Ethereum network at the moment is actually just a link to the file, to the servers of the OpenSea. And that's the problem, because you most probably do not want to lose the picture, or in case you're trading some kind of audible NFTs, you do not want to lose the sound. And having here the decentralized storage for things like NFTs, or in fact anything that is actually taken enough storage that it will be unwise to store on the layer one solutions, then for these type of things, it is extremely important to have a decentralized, uncensored storage where you're able to prove the fact that something is going to be stored there, something is unchanged, and is going to be kept there for a certain period of time. So this type of the applications and the partnership in between Near in general and Filecoin is playing out well. And because of this, we have projects like Mintbase that migrated to Near blockchain, and they now implementing the storage of the NFTs on Filecoin, so they can give prove to the users that their NFTs are not going to be vanishing in some point in time, even in case Meanbase as a company will not exist anymore. So from that point of view, like I do believe that decentralized storing solutions are super, super important. And from my point of view, storing images is just the beginning of the things. We have lots of different databases, right? And as you all know, Wikipedia right now is stored on Filecoin, right? And this is again super important, and obviously Wikipedia has much more information than all of the NFTs of the world, right? So super glad. This looks very, very promising to me. Yeah, I'm just happy that I'm living in these times, right?
Cool. Pass over to Ishan.
Yeah, I agree with everything Alex mentioned here. I think just on a very ideological point of view as well, right? If we are going towards a decentralized future, we would typically need tools that are decentralized as well, right? So of course, even in Web3, we are constantly using solutions that are facilitating Web3, but are maybe in some essence Web2 based solutions. But like I mentioned, I think going forward, we would definitely need tools like the Graph, Filecoin, IPFS, all these systems that are truly decentralized to be able to facilitate the decentralized world that we're looking at. In terms of NFTs, right, I think we have certain problems like addressing and persistence of data that currently reside or are really prevalent in the NFT space right now. And we have all the tools that maybe Filecoin presents itself with, or rather presents itself alongside IPFS for, let's say, addressing and persistence as part of the financial layer for the verifiers to store that data and create that permanence of data for NFTs. Definitely, right. I think we it's pretty much known that Filecoin and Polygon have sort of created that bridge using textile by textile, where your users can start storing data on Filecoin from any Polygon address without any conversion, signups, anything. And I think that is definitely going to play a huge role in the decentralized world, particularly because with NFTs acting just as a proof of ownership, you would like to own that sort of the media as well, and you wouldn't want that to lose as well, right? Like Alex mentioned, right? So on that front, right, I think we definitely need tools like Filecoin, definitely need a very decentralized Web3 stack to further the cause of the decentralized world that we're looking at. And with Filecoin's integration with Polygon and the bridging solutions that we have, I think we are in the right direction from a protocol level.
Thank you. So I'd like to, shift the conversation to Brady from Hedera. So Hedera's ecosystem tends to have a greater composition and a good fit for enterprise use cases. And we've also collaborated with Hedera on Project Starling. Also have completed an extensive joint grant program with Hedera. So I would love Brady to share with us, where you think the value of Filecoin would be to an ecosystem like Hedera.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks. It's been a great partnership working with Filecoin. We always believe that there's the right tool for the right job for application developers. And in this space, it's emerging right now. There's going to be a lot of winners, a lot of different tools that serve different purposes. And, for us, HQ mentioned enterprise use cases. A number of enterprise use cases that are starting to pop up are around NFTs and using NFTs to tokenize art, for example. There's a company ran by DLA Piper called Toko that does essentially a financial marketplace, and they've created an NFT for art. And when it comes to being able to have a fully decentralized, immutable application, you're going to need to be able to decentralize every aspect of that. So for this art NFT, for example, you have the token that's created on Hedera. And then Hedera's, it's fast, secure, efficient. and eco-friendly, but it's not going to be the best tool for the job to be able to store a large image file, for example. And so in teaming up with Filecoin, what we're able to do is provide application developers the ability to mint an NFT on Hedera, and then have a URI that links out to a decentralized large file, such as a piece of art or a contract or things of that nature that are not the most efficient to store on Hedera, but be able to have them live in a decentralized, immutable way. People can trust it. And so we're really proud and happy with that collaboration with them. In terms of the grant program, it's been really fun to work with Protocol Labs and the Filecoin team. We did a $200,000 program where there's 2 categories of application that can be built. The first one is SDK for application developers to be able to integrate both Hedera's token service and Filecoin to be able to mint NFTs really quickly and easily. And then 5 prizes that we gave away for people who were building applications that integrate Filecoin and Hedera together. And we've chosen some winners for that recently, and we're going to have that announcement be made, I think, this week or next week. So super excited and on the lookout for that.
Awesome, awesome.
Yeah.
This is just the beginning. Okay, Roger, Chainlink has been a really close collaborator with Filecoin. It's like we've gone through a lot of seasons with Chainlink already. And, you know, in fact, a lot of there were like 9 winners in the Chainlink Spring Hackathon that we did together that went on to our accelerator program, raise funding. So maybe let's talk about like, why do you think oracles and storage go hand in hand as like building blocks of Web3 stack? You know, what are the synergies here? And maybe you can unpack it for everyone here. Yeah.
Sure, be happy to do that. I mean, as Brady mentioned, as far as, you know, enterprise grade applications, you know, the decentralized Oracle network, you can think of as really like a secure middleware layer. So we talk a lot about connecting different blockchains, but we can also connect to, you know, enterprise and legacy systems in a secure way. And specifically, the technology that we developed for the Filecoin integration is something called an external adapter, which is a part of our architecture that allows connections from essentially any API. It could be Web2 based APIs or Web3 or blockchain information. And that allows that information to flow into the decentralized Oracle network and then be placed on other blockchains. And that data flow is bidirectional. So that opens up a lot of interesting use cases. As it's been mentioned, you know, some, you know, blockchains aren't necessarily the best solution to store large amounts of data, you know, video, images, things like that. They're just not well suited for that. So the bidirectional data flow from other blockchains and allowing that capability to go through Chainlink and then store in Filecoin opens up a lot of really interesting use cases. I mean, a couple of examples could be automated storage. Let's say that you have data that you want to grab on certain intervals and you want to archive this data. I mean, some examples that would be really interesting are historical pricing data for assets, bonding curves for DEXs at those periods of times. And you could take that data and store it in Filecoin and build a really, really powerful data set there that you could then actually turn around and come up with another scenario where maybe we have these data DAOs, if you will, that curate these large data sets, and they could sell not only, you know, portions of these data sets, they could also do additional insights, additional data analysis, and sell those insights, you know, through Chainlink oracles onto other blockchains. It could be a really useful way to collect that data and then also monetize it in another fashion.
Okay, that's super exciting. So we covered, you know, a lot of smart contract systems, enterprise use cases, oracles. I'd like to, you know, build on that and expand the topic to Web3 in general. So in the past year, we have seen DeFi and NFTs, you know, like really find their product market fit in our world. You know, some may argue that Web3 has yet to take off, and maybe the next wave will be a lot of Web3 kind of applications. So I want to ask all of you, you know, where are you seeing the next bright sparks in Web3, you know, be it dApps, use cases, or like certain verticals? Could you please share, you know, like what you are seeing in your ecosystem that particularly excites you in Web3? I think it'd be really cool to share with the audience here. I will start with Ishan.
Yeah, definitely. I think Web3 is definitely the place to be. And, just because I'm a creator myself, I mean, the creator economy is booming. We are definitely seeing so many amazing tools that are available for creators, like social tokens, where your fans can become professional fans. You can create a really closely knit community that can grow together with the creator. Then we have, protocols like Unlock Protocol, Mintgate, that are token gating content, whether it's videos, music, blogs, etc. Really, really excited about them. Then we have, certain new NFT standards coming into the fold, right? For example, the ERC 3664 standard, where there's a lot more modularity in NFTs. Let's say, you own a sword NFT, it'll automatically over time catch rust as time progresses. So all these NFTs that are a little more modular, a little more adaptable, and a little more, I would say, just modular. I think that's the best word to put it here. This is definitely something that has potentially huge use cases in Web3 and in Web3 gaming. Again, on the DAO front, right, a lot of DAO tools are definitely coming up. It's a really new space. DAOs are definitely the Web3 communities, the Web3 organizations, the very, very young space. A lot of amazing tools are coming up, and you're really excited about, all these different things that I just mentioned, like personally.
Cool. Brady, and then Alex, and then Roger.
Sure, yeah. So some of the things that we're seeing in the market and that Hedera is finding product market fit in specifically is around high throughput use cases for data integrity. So, as mentioned before, Hedera is incredibly fast, efficient, fair. There's timestamps associated with anything that's written to the ledger. And it's small pieces of data, things that are created by data that's generated by devices, data that's generated by people. If you have like an exchange or high transaction throughput, Hedera is a perfect fit for that, up to 10,000 transactions per second, at least today. But in many cases, there is larger data that needs to be associated with the minute timestamp data that becomes verifiable. And so we are excited to be able to collaborate with Filecoin from that perspective, where let's say someone has a carbon credit based application as one example. So you've got this platform that supports people who are doing carbon sequestration. They need to be able to write data to the Hedera ledger quickly, talking about that project specific aspects and the progress that it's made. It's immutable, it's verifiable, it's time-stamped. It allows people to be able to verify that the status of that project based on sensors at that site are valid. But then there's also maybe documents from an auditor that went and checked out the site. It's like, that's not something that's going to be on Hedera specifically, but it's great that they are able to still be able to decentralize it and put it on Filecoin IPFS network. And so more and more, we're seeing this high throughput data use case, things in advertising, supply chain, sustainability. And so starting to dig into that a little bit more and finding that folks are coming to Hedera for that specific use case.
Okay. Maybe Alex, you can share something. Yes.
Sure. I would like to second Ishan on the DAOs. From my point of view, there are lots of developments happening right now in DAOs. Just recently in Lisbon, it was a very big event, DAOist, about the DAOs and how the evolution of the DAOs is happening. It is super interesting piece. So from my point of view, this is one of the biggest things that is happening right now in Web3. And obviously, I believe everyone is going to, confirm this. Gaming is coming right now in Web3 with Axis Infinity and other types of the game with the things like play to earn, these concepts. I think that is going to be pretty big, and we're just in the beginning of this way. But my personal favorite, and I'm here again seconding what Brady was saying. I would really like to see good applications of the supply chain on the blockchain. And from my point of view, blockchain is meant, it was like developed to suit supply chain needs. And I'm not talking only, about the delivery of the stuff or something. I'm talking about intellectual rights, intellectual property, the payouts to the artists, the payouts to people who own this intellectual property. This is all of these businesses and all of these verticals. They are so messy at the moment, and they are so broken that it really needs to have a quantum leap in these verticals, and blockchain is exactly the right technology that is able to do it. So looking forward to this.
Cool. Roger, do you have anything to add on in terms of like what's super exciting in Web3?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think that, people have already alluded to, we're really just in the infancy of Web3. We're really at the beginning stages, but I think it's also really clear to see that the full impact of this is going to be transformative at a global scale. I mean, truly, truly impressive transformations here. As we head towards what I believe to be a multi-chain world, I think a lot of people kind of agree with that. All of these chains are going to specialize to do the certain things that they do best, and having those connected so that we can access the best features in every chain, I think is going to be something that's super powerful. Along with that, I would add to just, the decentralized distribution of power and the censorship resistance that comes with decentralizing these things. I mean, the example starting of, hey, you bought an NFT, and by the way, the image servers are down and your image is lost. With Filecoin, that's not going to happen. So cryptographic truth, replacing the just trust us model is, really exciting to me.
All right. I would probably take us to the last question, but a really important one. So there is a view that modern storage in the Web3 stack is required to enable all these, killer or consumer applications for consumers and also enterprises and things like that. They are really going to take Web3 forward. So in your view, what are the absolutely critical gaps in the Web3 stack that must be filled? It could be in combination with Filecoin. It could be anything. Really just want to, dive deep into this little part here for the audience here. I'd love to start with Alex, maybe.
Sure, absolutely. So from my point of view, one of the most important thing that is preventing Web3 and the general adoption of the Web3 is actually a connection to the Web2, right? So if you would think of modern applications that are on the smartphones, for example, your banking application. So when it connects to the server, when you're doing the banking transaction, it actually establishes a secure connection. And what it means that there's some kind of information that is digitally signed on your device, because your device has it has a key, and your device is able to calculate digital signatures, right? So doesn't it feel very, very familiar to the Web3 world when you have your own key and you're signing the stuff, right? The only difference is that Web2 users, they are not having MetaMask, they are not having some kind of other wallets, right? And but they have keys already. Every time when you see the green HTTPS, it means that you have a key and you are using this key. So I think that this piece, actually using the existing public key infrastructure that is already implemented in the real world of Web2, and having enabling the shift of this public key infrastructure to the Web3 world, and allowing users to sign these transactions with their existing keys, but making blockchains or making something in the middle, this middleware piece that is actually going to transform these messages that are signed, transform it into the blockchain transactions, and making sure that users are owning their data, they are owning their value. This is a thing that is a little bit missing at the moment. And in case this thing is going to be implemented, it's going to be a massive boom for the Web3, and just a ginormous expansion of the Web3 into the Web2 world.
Absolutely, absolutely. Maybe we have about 3 minutes left, so I just want to go around the room as well. Maybe like a 1 minute version of like what the critical gaps are. Maybe Roger and then Brady and then Ishan. Yeah.
Sure. I think that the user experience just needs to improve a little bit, right? I think to get broader adoption, like it was just mentioned, you have to install MetaMask, you have to understand key management, you have to understand some additional things. I think that as the user interface becomes better and better and the experience is better, then we're going to get wider and wider adoption for all these technologies.
Yeah, I agree with Roger and Alex both. The user experience is something that I think from the beginning we've all been wanting to see improvements on. Decentralized identity is one of the biggest ones. I think people should be able to traverse the web the way and be themselves and be able to operate these various applications with ease and have data privacy as part of that incorporated. And then also from the perspective of the user experience, we're starting to see a lot of platforms that exist on top of the infrastructure layer that make it really easy for applications to plug into and utilize decentralized technology, but obfuscate the complexities of managing cryptocurrency, dealing with the infrastructure directly, the tax implications, all of that. And so it's almost like blockchain as a service in many ways. And I think that'll start to surface itself as well.
Yeah, I think definitely agree with the user experience bit. I think with NFT and gaming, right? I mean, user experience is what really matters. I mean, you have a time to fun metric, right? You don't want that time to be very high, right? I want to be able to have really amazing experience right from the off. So user experience, definitely one thing. Maybe what we are currently lacking is maybe, some great wallets for NFTs. I mean, MetaMask obviously is the best or the most widely adopted wallet out there, but it was not created especially for NFTs, right? Even though we might have that in the future, but definitely, something along the lines of what maybe the Sequence wallet by Horizon Games or maybe the Rainbow wallet is doing. I think we need more wider adoption of such wallets that are, keeping up with the times, so to speak. So yeah.
All right. This brings us to the close of the panel today. But thank you very much to Alex, Brady, Roger, Ishan for taking the time, coming to enter the Filecoin community and sharing your valuable thoughts. I think it's going to give us a lot of food for thought, a lot of things to discuss post the panel. And thank you for supporting Filecoin. Thank you for collaborating. This is just the beginning. All right.
Thanks.
Thanks so much.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks a lot, HQ. Pardon me. I just dropped something on the floor here. That was really great. I thought Alex's piece on Web2 and how the keys are already out there and they need to be leveraged, and so much of it's already built, and we could be much closer than we ever even imagined. Shortcuts available, I guess, is what I took from that. So now, once again, continuing in the theme of ecosystem, we're here on the ecosystem track, and we've got a pretty interesting session up next. And we went out, when we were putting some of this agenda together. One of the things that we thought was important to highlight were some of the early adopters, why they adopted it, why they decided to move and build off of what was launched a year ago. So today I've got a great colleague of mine, someone I've worked with for years now in the space, Junian Wong. He'll be moderating a panel on Filecoin in its first year from the early adopter project. And that's several projects that as soon as mainnet launched wanted decentralized storage ASAP. And this is their first year in live production. So June, take it away.